Hey, what's up? It's your host, Tori, and who is ready to be petty? Welcome back to another episode of RTBP. I'm so excited for today's episode. Dana, one of my IRL friends, joins me to talk about some really fun stuff. And I feel like I haven't had a person from my real life on here for a long time, just my internet friends and fellow podcasters. So I'm really excited for you all to hear that conversation. A few updates before we get to the show. Y'all, I'm not going to stop talking about it, so you actually have to go watch it, but Summer House had another excellent episode this week. Maya and Sierra talked about their experiences as Black women in the Hamptons and on Summer House in a predominantly white group. And it was just a really candid and courageous conversation that they had, and really highlighted some of the little behaviors of like exclusion and microaggressions that people of color and other people of marginalized identities face. And I just think that it is must-see television. So like I've said this before and I'll say it again, please go watch Summer House. It is the best TV show on air right now. It is appointment television. It was really nice to have Sierra finally be able to share her experiences in Summer House, and I appreciated her being raw and honest. Like I feel like we don't often get that from her, and I wonder if that is the edit or again just consequence of, you know, her feeling uncomfortable or excluded. And I was just happy that she had a support person in Maya and vice versa. So please go watch Summer House, and bravo, you're not listening, but like you should be paying me for the amount of fucking legwork I'm putting in for this show. I feel like I'm like the only one. But there's also a really interesting blind item on the Summer House Reddit, and I'm going to read it out for you because I think it applies to other reality TV shows, so I want to know your thoughts. But the blind item says, it's from February 5th, 2022. I don't know who the author is. It looks like it's like from Crazy Days and Nights. And the person writes, the producers of this reality show that uses the same base despite changes in weather are known to have staffers and sometimes even friends of staffers rain down on Reddit shortly before a season is to begin. And in the early parts of it, the narrative that is set for that season is reinforced in the online forums. They turned a cast member into someone who was hated based solely on the edit and the online pile-on. And then it was revealed as Summer House / Winter House. And the person, obviously, I'm sure they're talking about is Hannah Berner. And I talked to David Yontef about this a few months ago with the Hannah stuff, but we don't have to get into the Summer House nitty gritty, but I just think it is really interesting because this is some type of like PR that I just like didn't know existed, but it makes total sense that people that work at Bravo, etc., are online crafting these narratives under like fake accounts. And that just like makes so much sense to me. I think that there was, I can't remember what it was, but I think it's the singer on TikTok that like sings that song that's like ABC, like fuck you or something like that. I'm like, I don't want to sing on the podcast again. But anyways, that singer was called out because her producer was the person who commented like, you should create a song that has like the alphabet and is about like a breakup. And then she replied on TikTok with that song, and then it like blew up. So like just kind of these like calculated moves that literally the untrained eye would just not see. So I want to know what you think. Do you think that people working for these big television stations, I don't know why I said television stations, like I'm fucking 90 years old. These like, I don't know what the better word is, but do you think these companies are going online and like making fake accounts and talking to us viewers like they don't know and like are crafting these narratives? Because I think that's like so smart, but it also makes me sad because it's like these online forums are like what we had to discuss with other viewers away from any like production meddling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're just like another cog in the wheel. So anyways, I just found that really interesting, but let me know. And I just think like, man, people that work in this type of business is just so smart, and we catch on to their games, but like it's always too late. So yeah, that was just really interesting to me. The last thing I want to say before I get to the show is Dana and I do a Valentine's Day social media roundup of our fave and least fave celeb couples. But after we recorded, Khloe Kardashian posted on her Insta stories that Pete sent her flowers. So my question for you is like, if you're single for Valentine's Day, do you want someone like your sister's boyfriend to send you flowers, or do you just want to wallow in self-pity alone? Because I know what I would choose, and it's self-pity. I'd be like, no one look at me, no one talk to me, like no one like pretend I don't exist and this holiday doesn't exist. And I would actually feel way worse if my fucking sister's boyfriend sent me flowers. I feel like the move is trying to be nice, but it's just not the look. Also, the flowers looked like a little old and like a little wilty, but that's just me. Okay, but let's get to today's episode. Without further ado, here's my conversation with Dana. I'm back with a very special guest, friend of the pod, longtime listener. Dana's back. Dana, how are you?
Wow, doing well. I want everyone to know that Tori had a Valentine's Day surprise for me because we're recording on Valentine's Day, and she informed me that she's currently wearing a robe, and there's nothing underneath, so who knows what's gonna happen today. I feel overwhelmed.
Always trying to make my guests feel comfortable and safe as we get into each episode. Okay, now I sound like someone in like a rom-com showing up to someone's house in a robe with no clothes underneath.
Do you think it's more, it's like a friends to lovers trope where you're like, oops, I was just getting ready. Like, is this a seduction? I have some calls to make if that's the case.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. No, I'm just mid getting ready and just thought I would hop on and record a podcast with you. But you're like, I'm going to weave this into the episode like when we were chatting before you started the first thing off the bat. Just like, hey, Tori is. And I just want to clarify also that it's not the Skims $300 robe, duvet robe. It's like a $10 H&M one.
Honestly, it looks like silky. Like, I really Valentine's Day vibes.
Okay, good. Perfect. Let's play that off as that's what it was planned for. So Dana is my IRL friend. If you're new to the pod, I was thinking like the last time that you were on, I don't even think I had show notes, timestamps, like episode outline.
Tori shared approximately 1 million Google Docs with me this time around, and I was immediately overwhelmed and wanted to back out. But I did my homework, I read my Google Docs, I changed my Zoom settings. It's a very professional situation over here these days.
It is, where before I would just be like sitting on Dana's couch with sharing one microphone and like just like worse sound quality, just like grabbing the mic from each other, like classic.
The OG days.
The OG days of RTBP. Yeah, I will say my fellow Virgo podcasters love the 9 Google Docs that and calendar invites that I sent them, but like I also feel like the biggest loser.
Yeah, you use the same calendar booking software that I use at my place of work.
I hate,
which made me laugh.
I hate that so much. But yeah, this is a full business operation nowadays.
Yeah, I'm even getting paid.
Yeah, stop.
I'm not. I wish. Someday I'll come on this podcast and get a lump
sum. Okay, so you were on episodes 14, 18, and 25. So like pre-pandemic.
And this is episode 80, my Google Doc says at the top.
We were talking about the college admissions scandal. Just like a little follow-up. Fucking Olivia Jade is apparently dating Jacob Elordi. And people say cancel culture is real. Like, that sounds fine to me.
Yeah. I mean, cancel culture is not on our agenda today, so we won't get there. But I do think you're correct that people want cancel culture to be a scapegoat. But in reality, does it exist?
No, I don't think it does. We talked about Below Deck, Survivor, the Met Gala. Remember when we gave our hot takes on Met Gala looks?
No, I can't believe you had me on for that ep. I am the least qualified person to talk about Met Gala looks.
Girl, I'm in a fucking robe. like,
We love to see it. That's honestly an outfit they would wear at the Met Gala, though, I feel like. The
oh
next theme
yeah,
is like what?
American fashion again.
Oh, I was really gonna speculate broadly about daydreams and nightmares. You know? I think that'd
in
be
a
a good one.
postmodern society or whatever, because they have to make it like philosophical. Oh goodness. Oh my god. We also talked about hosting parties because that's something we used to do.
Oh yeah, I think I broke the news that I was moving away from Victoria in one of these podcast episodes and hosted a going away party.
Yeah. And now you're back. So
now I'm back. The times, they change.
We're going to talk today about some super fun things. We're going to talk about Kylie's new kid, Wolf Webster, Valentine's Day, social media. We're going to check in with our favorite / least favorite couples. Super Bowl Sunday. Dana's a big football gal, so
I'm a football girly, so have some thoughts.
And then we both have this week in petty stories to share, which I am fucking revved up for.
I'm so eager to hear what Tori has to say about hers because I'm gonna shut it down immediately.
I know. I'm scared. like I was like, this is risky, but I have to fucking save my peace. I need to speak my truth.
I'm already rolling my eyes.
Okay, so the first story is Kylie Jenner released her baby's name, Wolf Webster. It came to us via Instagram story. And I just want to actually bring it back to you breaking the news that Kylie had a child for the first time. Stormy, you were the one that texted me the YouTube video.
Yes, I do remember that. That feels like a lifetime ago.
It truly does.
This one, we all just like found out subconsciously on Instagram in an Instagram story. And I saw a TikTok about this, and I should have wrote down the user before coming on to this very professional podcast now.
We don't do that here.
But they were talking about how it's real second child syndrome.
Okay, literally. So Stormy gets a fucking 10-minute YouTube video, and he gets not even a picture slide, just a gray background. The like standard text with like a single heart. Wild. Do you think he's getting the second child treatment at home?
I mean, it's hard to say. I think he probably has his own team of staff to take care of him. So as a rich person, is there a second child syndrome? I guess one could argue yes, based on various examples across media. But do we think it's different because it's like a boy-girl situation?
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I feel like Kylie's one of those one of each.
Yeah, 100%. Well, look at Kim. She had girl, boy. Like, that had to have been planned. Another thing that people are talking about that was planned is possibly her getting induced on February 2nd, 2022.
It's like, how special do you have to be to have a baby on 2/2/22?
Okay,
I believe it.
I believe that too, but also if she had it on Feb 1st, I bet she was just like, I'll pay the hospital. I'll make a $5,000 donation if you just put two.
You think $5,000 is the cost to alter a birth certificate?
She's like, I'll build you a third wing of your hospital or whatever.
Yeah, I think that makes way more sense.
To alter this. And then people are like talking about, okay, 2222 is like angel numbers.
Oh, that's why they thought the name would be Angel.
Yes. Okay, so the rumored names were Rainbow, Valentine, and Angel. What do you prefer, Wolf or any of those?
I mean, if I'm naming this baby, I'm not picking any of those, you know? We could have gone with a nice, Travis Jr. How funny would that be if one of these famous people just went, Travis the second, you know?
Yeah, like Tristan the second.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But if I had to pick out of any of those, I think Wolf is probably the best one. I do like Angel, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like Angel if you're like have a North American accent like we do, but if you were like had like a Spanish accent or a French accent, I think Angel could really work.
Do we also think too like Angel and Saint together in the
Too
same
much.
family.
Yeah, too much.
Too much.
Well, that's what people were saying about Rainbow and Stormy. Like, it's too weather related. But I actually really like the nickname Bo.
Did they give this baby that nickname?
No, I'm just saying if they
Oh.
would have if they would have named
You're
it
just
Rainbow.
wildly speculating. Got it.
Well, that's what I'm here to do. But yeah, maybe Wolf is the best out of those 4 options. I'm not loving like Wolf Webster together. I don't know, it just doesn't sound great, but you know they like the alliteration and like the initials being the same and stuff like that.
I do think it's interesting. Like, does this child have a middle name?
I don't think so, because I don't think Stormy does either, and I don't think the West kids do either. I kind of like that look. I don't think in Australia and like some other cultures they don't do middle names, and I'm kind of into that.
I think it would have been fun if we did something like another W in the middle, like a triple W.
A
and
www
then you could call him
the internet.
That's my new pitch, Kylie. If you're listening, which we know you are, I'm another wing and I changed that birth certificate.
I just think also like we know she has a penchant for naming kids and dogs with the E sound at the end, like Stormy, Normie, Rosie, all of her other like 9 dogs that have disappeared. So do you think she's calling Wolf Wolfie?
I mean, I would assume yes, based on interacting with babies and children. You're always going to add that Y sound at the end. But I do think like maybe they do have a nickname for him that is not
Wolfie?
Wolf or Wolfie. Because I also think, like, Wolfie, do you think Wolf has like a stuffed animal named Wolfie? Like, do you think he got a stuffed wolf as his stuffy?
100%. I'm actually surprised. We're going to talk about social media later, but Kylie got a bunch of roses from Travis with like it looks like a gummy bear, but like a teddy bear. And I was like, why is that a wolf?
People often name pets after other animals, you know?
Yeah.
Dogs named Bear.
Yeah.
I'm not loving this as a child's name.
Neither do I. It does really seem, I don't know. And when I think of Wolfie, I just think of like a Playboy guy with like a Wolfie smile.
That's really
like a predator.
My immediate thought goes to like a big husky that I'm like, oh, what a wolfie, you know? Yes. And it's like neither of those things I think are good to associate with the name of a baby.
Yeah, same here. But then I always come back to this. It doesn't matter for them because this baby will never have to work or live a normal life.
It's true. But what's wrong with a stage name? You know, let's go back to like the old Hollywood. Yes. We give people, you know, regular names. Yeah. Traditional names, and then they can become their own person.
Yeah, I love that. Ugh, such a good point. Well, we'll stay tuned on the Kylie Jenner Wolfie Webster front.
Wolfie Webster.
So it's Valentine's Day, and I've been looking at social media all day. Just kidding, I've been working.
It's a
Monday. But we wanted to do like a roundup of, I don't know, some of our favorite couples. Travis and Courtney, I feel like they kind of fell off our radar for a little bit, but I'm like back on them. And Travis got Courtney it's not a bouquet. It's not like flower arrangement. It's a full room of flowers with like probably like 6 foot, 8 foot statues of Minnie and Mickey Mouse. Do you like this look?
Tori asked me as if in any world I'm going to be like, yeah, I think that's such a nice Valentine's Day.
I try to stay objective, but yeah, this is ready to be petty. Like, unleash it.
I'm also just like, from a sustainability standpoint, what are we doing with these statues after this?
I don't know, because it actually makes me sick. I think I've talked about this on someone's podcast before, but it's like the fucking balloon waste.
I can't start on the balloon arches and the balloons.
Oh my God. Because like at least like, yes, the Mickey and Minnie thing might go into like their storage, which I'm sure is just like they own a storage complex somewhere that has all their archived outfits, decorations and stuff like that. Like I could see that coming out for a birthday party. I feel like there was, and maybe it's like, I feel like they would also never reuse reuse stuff, but I'm pretty sure at Kylie Jenner's baby shower for Wolf, she had a bunch of giraffe statues. And I was like, oh, that kind of looks like what Chloe did for True's baby shower. So I'm like, maybe they do reuse those things. But I'm like, yeah, the balloons and the flowers just like, ugh, my God.
It's tough. It's a tough look for sure. It's definitely like when we say eat the rich, this is what we're looking at. You know what I mean?
100%. And I think like an underrated story about Kourtney Kardashian is that she is a full-on Disney adult.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking embarrassing. Like,
I do think it gets to the point where, people have their interests, and we over here at RTBP try to be respectful of the things other people like.
You're right.
But I hate it.
Yeah, same here. Okay, I think like I'm gonna be real honest. I'm gonna get real here for a second. I think if I lived in Southern California, I'd be a Disney adult.
Oh, I would for sure have a season's pass.
Me too.
But I think there's a difference between this Disney adult situation and like these are the people, like, will they get married at Disneyland? Maybe.
Probably.
And I think if that is ever a thought that someone has about you, maybe they'll get married at Disneyland. You've gone too far. You've already gone too far.
100%. I sent in our group chat a bunch of Survivor Valentine's Day cards where it's like Jeff Probst being like, you're the one worth playing for, like whatever. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, has anyone been proposed to using like Survivor quotes? And I was like, that might be a stretch, but Disney, like for sure. Like Travis 100% was like, you're this like Cinderella and I'm Prince Charming.
Oh my, you think that that's what happened? I guess we'll find out here soon.
Yeah,
Let's get that show out.
April 14th.
Stop. I did not know that. That's 2 months from today.
Yeah, I'm fucking pumped. Yeah, maybe he didn't say that, but like I for sure think he was like, babe, if I'm like your Mickey, then you have to be my Minnie.
I'm gonna throw up.
No, me first.
I don't know.
Speaking of throw up, what?
Wow. The most seamless transition I've ever heard, folks.
I'm a professional podcaster. Okay, speaking of throw up, what the fuck do the Kardashian Jenner clan have to do with gingerbread houses?
I honestly don't get it, because objectively, if we just go back to the roots of a gingerbread house as a classic holiday treat, it is bottom tier.
What? It's like just above fruitcake.
Yes. Yes. And like, sure, it's nice. It's aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
At the holiday time to see a gingerbread house. But why on earth would you have a Valentine's Day gingerbread house displayed in your home?
It's concerning on so many levels. And speaking of waste, it's like, that just sits in their fucking foyer for a week and then gets thrown out.
I imagine that, don't you think the kids just like go so hard on that gingerbread house?
Yeah, because they are like withheld from
deprived
of normal kid food.
Or here's a theory I've been working on for a while. Are these gingerbread houses entirely made of styrofoam?
Oh.
Are they entirely fake?
And then it's just like the icing?
Yeah.
The royal icing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Possibly. Like, everyone gets one every single year. That, or they just, like, have... This is... Okay, so my working theory is that they just have a store or, like, a bakery that sends it to them. Because I do know, and I'll post this on socials because everyone, like, has to know about this and know what I'm talking about. But, like, they also have, like, a cake baker that they do for every birthday. It's, like, a really shiny and, like, it's always, like, a cross-stitch or, like, cross-weave cake icing thing. That was super articulate, but I'm just like, okay, but then if they were getting sent it, wouldn't they like tag the bakery? So is it Chris ordering them? Like, I'm just confused.
I don't know, but we're saying it here first, folks. It needs to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to stop. We're over it. We'll take any other holiday themed treat.
Literally, like Valentine's is, I guess, like basically everything revolves around chocolate, I guess, in the holiday world. But it's like Valentine's is so clearly like a box of chocolate holiday. Like Skims posted.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
It is confusing. The whole thing, every time I see a story or a post that Kourtney Kardashian does, I'm confused.
Yeah.
I do not know what her brand is.
Neither, because it's like wellness and like wholesome foods on Poosh, but then it's like thumb sucking, like punk chick.
Disney adult.
It's so weird, but people contain multitudes.
I also have some follow-up questions, probably for another episode of the pod, about
Yeah.
how she makes money off Poosh.
Oh, she doesn't. Me looking at my Poosh diffuser from Sage.
Stop.
Yeah.
I hate that you have that.
I hate that I have that too. I'm always like, I don't support the Kardashians financially. And then I'm like,
plot twist, folks. Tori is wearing a Skims robe.
Yeah,
You heard it here first.
Okay, the last thing that Kourtney posted was a Tumblr-esque collage of pictures of her and Trav.
I was flipping through Instagram this morning, prepping for the podcast. Of course, before work, because Tori and I both worked full work days today.
Diligently, yes.
And all of the people that I knew from high school are posting the same type of collages. And I just clicked right by Kourtney Kardashian's post because it blended in with every other person I knew. And if that's how you're posting, like a
fucking pleb
high school, like someone's high school friend from, I'm not going to say rural Canada, but pretty close, I think you need a reality check.
100%. And it's also like, did she make this or did a fan account make it and she like reposted it? Because I don't know what's worse.
Did she pay her assistant to make this? Because each scenario is worse than the last.
100%. Yeah. I do think that the only thing getting me to watch their show is the Travis and Kourtney of it all, because I just need to see behind the scenes of this relationship.
If we get it. I think you're asking a lot.
Yeah, I know. Next on our list was Kim and Pete. Weirdly silent this Valentine's Day. They were out in New York yesterday, I believe, or maybe like after the Super Bowl. She was wearing like an astronaut looking outfit. They've been going on like dinners, but nothing so far, just a few Skims ads.
Yeah, it is interesting. I wonder if we are laying low due to the Kanye of it all. Yesterday was a big day that we'll get into in almost every aspect of the podcast. We have Kanye up on deck.
Literally.
But it's interesting too. I wonder if, Tori and I have talked about this off pod a lot, is, are Kim and Pete a PR relationship? And the general consensus is yes. And it might be my being naive. But I also think, like, maybe this has just brought them together and solidified something that is not real.
I love that. Like, do
you think they're trauma bonding over this? Like, this is how they fall in love.
100%. And, like, I think 99% they are a PR relationship. But there is the 1% of me that it's like, Kim literally said, I had all the big moments with Kanye, all, like, the big proposals, the big flower arrangements, the wedding in fucking France and Italy, like, all of that stuff. And she just wanted the little things. Now Pete's taking her to the theater, to the grocery store, to the fucking outlet mall. Like, Kim wanted the little things. She's getting that with Pete. And also just like how stressful was her relationship with Kanye, who just like, it's getting troubling. So I kind of want to talk about it less just because I'm like, this is so off the rails that I'm like now concerned.
It's unwell. Yeah.
Yes,
it's gotten to a point where it feels very witnessing someone suffering quite deeply
100%.
from mental illness.
Yes. And like, I'm the first to make a joke about my own mental illness, but like, it's like that TikTok where it's like laughing and then it's like, oh, but it really isn't funny.
Yeah.
Now is it? It's like that one where it's like, that's
this
kind of how
serious.
I feel. Yeah.
I think too, like a lot of this is, I imagine how much Kim's lawyers are screen recording every single thing that Kanye's posting. In this case, that's going to be made against him for sole custody of these kids.
100%. And like that's where it starts getting real and like ugly.
It's dark.
Yeah,
It's
100%. Yeah. I've like tried to start toning down my content about it because I'm feeling very Britney Spears in 2007 vibes, like where everything is out of control with the media and the public interest, and the person is like really suffering.
Yeah. And we're seeing quite clearly the impacts that while you are sick and having your own struggles, your actions can still deeply impact other people, and you still have to take responsibility for that. And I think that's a tough aspect of relationships to navigate in this media circus that he's created.
Literally. So, with all that being said, are we going to talk about the truck full of flowers?
It's just like, what?
So, Kanye sends Kim a full truck with a truck bed full of flowers. And on the side, it says, "My vision is crystal clear." And the crystal clear is spelled with 2 Ks. And then he tagged her on Instagram.
I honestly have no words. I have
Neither
no
do I.
words. It is. I don't even know how she processes this moment to moment, because if that happened to me in any breakup that I've had, I would immediately get a restraining order.
Same. And here's the thing is, again, with the Pete stuff,
Mhm.
after dealing with this, wouldn't you want someone that's so fucking easygoing like Pete?
Yeah, have dinner, you know, maybe go home, have some fun time,
Yeah,
smoke some weed.
laugh and
Yeah.
just like chill the fuck out. Yeah.
This is the thing, you mark my words, they're gonna last forever. You heard it here first, folks.
Okay, I literally, though, sometimes like I talk about Pete and Kim so often that sometimes like I had a moment today where I was like in the shower and I was just like, this is so fucking like, who had this on their bingo card that these two people would even be in the same room or sentence together? Like, it's just so mind-boggling to me. Just the least person I would suspect to be her bounce back after Kanye.
I know, it's all very interesting with the timing of her being on SNL and how that worked out and what the start of that relationship, real or not, is. This is the part that it's like, when do we get the truth? It like feels like we're watching movies where we'll never get to the ending and we'll never get to know. And I find that so unsatisfying.
I've been finding that a lot too with blind items. Like, as I dive more into blind items and celebrity conspiracy theories, I've really been finding that too. Like, I just need the tell-all book or what, like, I need the first-hand experience. And sometimes I'm actually like full on irritated about this.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like we are reading books that we'll never finish.
Yeah. Oh my God. We had some normie celeb posts.
Some nice, wholesome content on this Valentine's Day.
Yeah. You shared with me Kevin Jonas and Danielle Jonas.
Our only post from a Jonas brother, I would like to note.
Yeah. The other two are, I guess, with their babies.
I mean, if those babies aren't their Valentines, then who is their Valentine?
True.
Nick, give us a photo.
Yeah, honestly.
What a perfect opportunity. Tori will post these after the pod, I'm sure, but Kevin posted a lovely photo of Danielle and their 2 kids, and
so cute,
about how he loves them so much. And you know, it's always nice to see some normalcy. Hilary Duff posted a nice collage, not a collage, I would like to say. What do we call that?
A carousel.
A carousel of photos of her husband Matt, and it was just, in the craziness of the world, it was nice to see, just like couples in love, you know? No PR relationship speculation.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any blind items that you've recovered about these people in this moment. It's just nice to see love on Valentine's Day.
Yes. Okay, let's leave it at that. The Super Bowl was yesterday.
The Super Bowl was yesterday. Big football fan over here. The Rams beat the Bengals. Just so everyone knows, because just for, you know, conversation's sake, if you ever need that in the future, that's for you folks at home. But we did, because the Super Bowl was hosted in Los Angeles at the new SoFi Stadium. We had celebrity sightings upon celebrity sightings I think just due to location. People we've never seen at the Super Bowl before.
Yeah, and like interesting people because it's usually people. It's always like fucking Ellen and stuff.
Ellen was there, of course.
I know.
LeBron James was there, etc., etc.
Yeah, snooze fest. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the good people. Harry and Eugenie.
Mhm.
No Megan, which I'm sure it's like good for you, Megan. You don't need to go to a fucking Super Bowl. Like
Maybe they could only get 2 tickets.
maybe because Harry's like kind of on the outs. Like
Harry's like, oh, my cousin's in town. I should probably take her. Megan's like, I guess I'll stay home with the kids. Just, middle America conversations.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh my god, no, she was probably like, I don't like football and I don't need to pretend to like you since you wafed me up now. So Ben and Jen were there. Jen, I think, was the last year's like performer, right?
I believe that she performed last year or
Yeah.
in recent years. They
Yeah.
all start to blend together at some point. No, The Weeknd performed last year.
Oh yeah, you're right. This was 2 years ago.
hmm
Yeah.
They were there. Alex Rodriguez was also spotted in the crowd. Do you think we had some awkward run-ins?
That's the dream. Like that's what my dreams are made of.
And the reality is no.
No, with like what's the size of the stadium? Like 200 million people.
Yeah, it's like the biggest stadium, I want to say, in the world, at least in the country.
Yeah, so
They obviously
no.
sat in different sections and their people kept them apart, but only in my dreams is it like, you're walking in the high school hallway with your new boyfriend and you see your old boyfriend. The drama.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Olivia Rodrigo was there.
She was also spotted. They did not show her one single time during the televised broadcast.
Why
They
not?
showed me all of the old white guys that were there, Mark Wahlberg. I don't know who that guy is, People keep telling me that name and it rings no bells. And then I see on Instagram, Olivia Rodrigo is here. And all the time, the NFL is complaining that they can't get anyone to watch that is not a middle-aged man. And it's like, show me that Olivia Rodrigo is there. Like, 100%. Are you
100%.
for real?
Yeah. Fuck, hire us to do your marketing Super Bowl team.
Super Bowl team.
What is it, NFL?
It is the NFL.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tori, for that.
Hire us and we'll redo this because, yeah, Olivia Rodrigo's a big get.
Well, and we really should be looking at NBC because they're the ones who were televising this game. And we know that there's people there that know who she is.
100%.
So why are we not showing her? Maybe she just wasn't visible at that moment, but
maybe. Kanye and North and Saint were there. North looks fucking pissed.
Yeah.
She was not having a good time.
No, and it's interesting. I don't know if you saw Kanye's outfit at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the mask.
The mask. And it's confusing to me because he also made some tweets and posts during the big rant yesterday about how he was trending over the Super Bowl. And it's interesting to me that perhaps the root of this is just like, how much attention can Kanye West get? And to be trending over the Super Bowl is a pretty big deal. But I also think, we're in the dying ages of football.
Oh.
You've heard it here first on
the
Ready to Be Petty podcast.
Okay, hot take.
That's a hot take. I'll explain more later.
Okay.
Or maybe not, because I don't think that anyone listens to this podcast maybe actually cares that football is a dying sport.
We can follow up tonight.
But I do think it's interesting that he is so committed to being the center of attention, Yeah. And I think that just loops back to our previous point, but...
Yeah, 100%.
Weird.
Will Ferrell was there wearing a BC Lions jersey. Does Will Ferrell have a connection to our current home province?
I do not believe so. The BC Lions have the same colors as the Cincinnati Bengals, so it could have been a joke.
And he was like, the lion looks the same as the tiger?
I guess so, but I did think that was fun. As Tori mentioned, British Columbia is where we live, and that's where our Canadian football team plays, in Vancouver, the nice CFL. But it was a weird moment.
Cardi B and Offset was there. Didn't they have a child? A second child?
I think so. No children spotted in attendance.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, I haven't heard Cardi B and Offset in like a long while. Where's their Valentine's Day posts?
It is interesting. Like, I feel like she always gets a big flower
arrangement.
And...
Yeah, like a Birkin bag and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of people there without their babies, Olivia Munn was spotted in the
Yeah, was
audience.
John there?
No, of course he was not with her.
Wild.
She looked to be with to me, unidentified female friend.
How many posters are going to be like, she left her baby at home. The baby's like 3 months old. Like, what a terrible mother.
It's like, let her go to a 3-hour football game.
Yeah, like
Please.
fucking let her live. Jesus Christ.
That is the only time we will defend Olivia Munn on this podcast.
Yes, you got that right. Justin and Haley were there. Justin was rapping and sobbing to Eminem's performance. It was unhinged.
Honestly, I have no words. It was definitely like growing up during, the Eminem heyday. It was fun to watch, but the tears was so weird
Misplaced.
to me.
Yeah.
It's like, are you good? Like that's the kind of crying that I do at an unrelated thing when I am not well.
Yeah,
you know?
Me too.
People are like, why are you crying at this Super Bowl halftime show? And you're like, I've just got a lot going on.
And that's literally what he was doing. It was so weird. And he was there with Haley, his wife, and then Kendall Jenner and Devin Booker. They're rumored to be engaged, but no confirmation yet.
Well, congratulations to the happy couple, if true. Happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, the halftime show, in all honesty, because that's all I ask of me and my guests on this podcast, I did not watch. And I was like,
oh my.
Of course I didn't.
Tori, it's like 4 minutes long. Are you serious?
Okay, so like, I was like, okay, well, I'm obviously not gonna watch it like during the Sunday.
No one expected that of you.
But I was like, okay, I'll YouTube it this morning, and then I was just like, I fucking cannot be bothered.
Okay. I, however, watched the Super Bowl halftime show, and I'm sure a lot of your audience did, Tori. You gotta serve the people, you know what I mean?
I know.
We'll take a poll in the Instagram post app. I want to know who watched the halftime show.
Okay, yes.
Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg were all in attendance. We also had a surprise performance from 50 Cent. And as someone who watched it, it was too many people.
That is a lot of people. Like, kind of iconic group, but
super
like
iconic. Great performance.
Yeah.
Eminem sang one song. Kendrick Lamar sang one song and like a remix version of another song. Mary J. Blige also sang 2 songs. And we got a lot of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, which, like, fair enough, you know?
I thought you said it was 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Okay, maybe it was longer than 4 minutes. Maybe it was 10 minutes. But this is what I mean. When you have 5 superstars of this caliber and you have a 10-minute show, it's just not enough for the people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I really liked when they just did one, like when it was just Gaga, when it was just Katy Perry.
Yeah, when it was just The Weeknd who performed last year.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
But I do think it was a very iconic, I think, performance between all of these people and a great homage, I think, to the Los Angeles area. You know, I think that's a fun, like, Super Bowl performance in Los Angeles. All of these folks who grew up there and made music there, and I think that's nice.
Oh, that is really nice. I was on Twitter during this, obvi. Twitter was confused at who these people are. Like, what a fucking joke.
What I will say is I was talking to my dad about this, you know, middle-aged white firefighter, and he told me he has never heard of any of these people. Oof. And I know this, in fact, to be true, because he does not listen to anything that happens around him. So, like, his kids would have been playing this music, and he would have no concept of that because it was not music he liked. But I think the Dan Freemans of the world, you know what I mean, are on Twitter being like, who are these people? Yeah,
and then I feel like also like Gen Z is like, who are these people? We don't listen to this type of music anymore.
Absolutely. It was a very nice show, but I think for the audience that appreciated it, great show. For the audience that didn't, honestly, unless you're putting the frickin' like Red Hot Chili Peppers or Led Zeppelin up there, all of these guys are going to be like, I don't know who it is. You know what I mean? My dad also didn't know who The Weeknd was. He was like, oh, that was a cool show, but he doesn't know.
Yeah, unless it's like the fucking Rolling Stones.
This is what I'm
Like-
saying.
like-
We're going to see this for the rest of our lifetime as people being like, I don't know who these people are. Because
Oh
the
my
people
God.
that are watching football, are they listening to these artists' music?
I don't
And
know.
I think there is some crossover.
Yeah,
for
there's
sure.
a Venn diagram for sure.
But I think, we've got a big group in that category that would have no idea who these people were.
Yeah, that's so fair. The only person I want to see perform at the halftime show, and I would watch it live, is Miss Taylor Allison Swift.
Let me tell you, if my two greatest loves in the world, NFL football and Taylor Swift,
Not
came together.
Champ and your cat Pepper.
Mm, no. And let's say the Indianapolis Colts were in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
while Taylor Swift was playing the halftime show, I would die a happy girl.
Yeah. Would you pay like the $10,000 for the ticket?
Oh, I want to say no, but hopefully I'm in a more economically stable aspect of my life and I can afford it, because I absolutely would.
Oh my gosh. So people were saying that she couldn't perform because she has a deal with Coca-Cola. Everyone knows the brand.
I've never heard of it. Is this a
I'm
like
sipping
sneaker brand or?
No, I'm sipping a little Diet Coke right now.
Mm.
Do you think that that's true because it's like the Pepsi?
Halftime show?
Yeah.
I think it's possible. People are saying it ends in 2023. I think the big thing with the Super Bowl as well is essentially you have to pay to play. So you are funding the entire Super Bowl halftime show yourself. They do not pay you to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh.
You take that on as an individual
So
to come up with the sets and the design and the people, and they'll have people there to like help you set up and those kinds of things, but they don't pay you to play the Super Bowl halftime show. So you're essentially doing it for exposure.
Okay, so is that why there was like 10 like sort of washed up celebs this year?
I mean,
Like,
it's possible.
they
It
all
definitely
chipped in.
it lowers your commitment when you only have to practice and sing one song.
Yeah.
But
Fascinating. Do we
I
have like
do
any
think-
figures on that? Like how much it would cost?
unfortunately, I didn't pull that data before the show. That's my bad. I'll take that on. But I do think, the Super Bowl halftime show is iconic. Like, I would love to see her perform there, but I don't. I think we might be waiting until Super Bowl 70 in 24 years when Taylor Swift is our washed up celebrity, if you will.
Oh no.
Not that I ever think she'll be washed up, but I
No.
think like this is typically when folks play the halftime show
Right, when they're like, yeah, really.
or looking for an image or an exposure or
Yeah.
some other reason.
Nice. Look at you with your PR brain.
What can I say?
Listen.
It's listening to RTBP
Yeah, I was
and their
just gonna
blind
say,
items.
I was just gonna say you've been listening to this podcast too much. Anything else you want to say about Super Bowl Sunday before we move into This Week in Petty?
No, great game, good times. I wanted to host a Super Bowl party, but didn't because sometimes they're like, oh, some people are watching the game and some people are eating the snack. If I invited my friends over to my home for Super Bowl Sunday, I would be the only person watching the football game. And I just couldn't live like that, so we skipped it this year.
Yeah. You're right. I do love Super Bowl like football snacks though.
Yeah, we just need some more football watchers in the gang,
Yeah.
And I just don't think I'm gonna get it here.
No, I don't think so either.
Nah.
So This Week in Petty, Dana, do you want to go first or second?
I can go first.
Okay.
We are celebrating Valentine's Day today, and I've seen a few birthday posts as well. And I feel like maybe I've talked about this on the podcast before. But as this is my hill to die on. As someone who has a birthday 4 days before Christmas, I just want to say it freaking sucks. It sucks to have your birthday on a holiday.
Yeah.
Because as much as people are like, oh, it's your birthday, it's also like you're getting, I'm sure, birthday presents in Valentine's Day bags and Valentine's Day chocolate as your birthday present. And that just freaking sucks because everyone else that's not born on a holiday gets other things.
Yeah.
And
That's
also,
so true. Yeah.
if your birthday's on Valentine's Day, I'm sure these people have set boundaries with their partners, but are people combining gifts? Because I do not stand by that either.
I know, because you've set that boundary in your life.
That is correct. I was born on my mom's birthday, who's also 4 days before Christmas. So she was a very big advocate for me as a child that I also got to have a birthday. But I also think, here's what I'm petty about too, the ranking of holidays. You know what I mean? If you got a Valentine's Day birthday, your Christmas birthday, Halloween birthday, you're kind of hooped. You have a
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day birthday,
You're fine.
you're probably fine. If you're in university, you get to go out and party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A Canada Day birthday, you're
Yeah.
probably fine. Now you can just make your birthday all about you because we don't want to
Canceled.
celebrate that
Yeah.
anymore,
Yeah.
you know? But it's just like you have a Labor Day birthday, great, long weekend. You have a
Yeah.
Valentine's Day birthday. Imagine, here's my worst case scenario. You get proposed to on Valentine's Day. It's also your birthday. That is your entire present. You don't get any other presents. And maybe I'm too focused on presents. That's maybe
No.
something I've just realized.
No. Is
But
is gift receiving or gift giving your love language?
I mean, I also have this theory that love languages is
Fake?
fake
Yeah, yeah.
because I think all of those are my love languages.
Yeah, okay, I know. Okay, I think that colloquially people are like, what is your love language? But I think it's just actually like, what's the ranking of your love language?
Yeah, because
Because
I think
they're all everyone's love languages.
absolutely. But I would say I love giving a gift. I love receiving a gift, but I also love all the other love languages.
Yeah, me
Words
too.
of affirmation, acts of service.
Yeah.
You
Quality
know,
time.
and I also think there's so much shame around liking gifts
Yeah,
or liking
fuck that.
like giving gifts, getting gifts.
No.
Anyway,
No, we're material girls.
we are material girls. And I think like the joy of giving a gift to someone is honestly almost unmatched. When you like find a great gift for someone and you get to give it to them, the joy. And I think that we should put a ban on people being born on holidays.
Yeah.
I think that Kylie Jenner should go around, pay off all these hospitals, and they will start putting people's birthdays farther away from the holiday.
No, I completely
And
agree.
I would like to send out some formal recognition of everyone who had a birthday today on Valentine's Day. And I'm sorry for you.
HBD to those.
HBD, folks.
So I agree because it's like if you were born on New Year's or St. Patty's Day, it's like fun because there's always going to be something going on, but it doesn't like overshadow. But you're right, like Halloween, Christmas.
And like, let's say you are a girl or a guy or
Yeah.
any other person who's
Yeah.
born on Valentine's Day, and all of your friends are big Valentine's Day people. You know? Like, I think this would not be a problem for me personally on Valentine's Day because, plot twist, after this podcast, Tori and I will be hanging out IRL with our other friends
Yes.
to eat heart-shaped pizzas. But if you're a person and all of your friends are coupled up and like into Valentine's Day, it's like
You're
your
fucked.
birthday is just you.
Yeah.
And I think that's sad.
I will say one thing to make this about me.
I would expect nothing less.
Perfect. My birthday is August 31st. We can celebrate, listeners, once it gets here.
Start counting down. I'll
Just
send you
throwing-
Tori's P.O. Box number so you can start sending your gifts.
Just throwing it out there. But my birthday's August 31st, and it did kind of suck. Like, it's not right on Labor Day, but it usually backs into Labor Day. And I remember growing up, like, in elementary school and high school, most of my friends were camping with their families. That's, like, such a big thing to do in BC on the Labor Day weekend, like the last hurrah before school starts. And then when I was in university, it's like everyone's getting their shit together for the start of school. They're moving, they're doing student leadership training like we were, and it often gets like overshadowed by the start of school. So I just wanted to, say
Yeah,
that.
okay. Here's what we're going to do. Tori's going to put one of those little question box that's like, do you have a good birth date? If so, share what your birth date is. Because maybe all birthdays are bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the message we've learned today.
I love how you're doing all my social media for me. We're gonna, after this podcast ends, so I don't forget, because I literally forget everything after every conversation I have as a person. You're gonna have to
We'll
tell
do
me
our
and I'll-
follow-up notes
Yes, yes.
in our shared Google Doc.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, my This Week in Petty
I can't with this. Go ahead.
is fucking Wordle. I have never played it, nor will I ever.
I hate things that other people like.
Yeah.
Okay, Tori.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm a big Twitter gal, and Wordle has absolutely taken over Twitter. It is so fucking annoying, everyone posting their scores. What do the little boxes mean?
Okay. First of all, what I'm going to tell you is maybe you wouldn't be so annoyed if you could participate in the conversation, which you actively can because it's a free website that you just go to. There's no barrier here for you.
The barrier is me not wanting to do
it. I'm sorry, on this podcast, you want me to explain what Wordle is with the boxes?
Is that not good content?
Okay, so you start out with your 5 boxes. You type in a word.
Okay.
If the letters are in your word, they're yellow. If they're in the correct spot in the word, they turn green.
Okay.
If they're not in the word, they turn gray. You then take those clues and make your next word. You have 6 chances. You got to figure out the word.
So it could just be any 5-letter word in the world.
Yeah, which is really challenging.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Often I play. I did not play for a long time. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because Champ, my partner, is very good at this type of game. This is where his brain is.
Yes.
And I just couldn't live with the shame.
Yes, it's like when we watch Jeopardy with him.
Yes,
Fuck
the potential shame of not doing well. But what I will say is, some days he gets it better than I do, and some days I do. And it's a nice little game that connects your friends. We also, in our group chat, send the
scores. Yeah, let's talk about
that. And Tori's like, well, no, I'm not playing. And it's just just try it.
This is me with Ted Lasso and
okay. No, we're gonna do it right now. Tori, open the app.
No, I can't.
Where's your phone? Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm pulling it up. Wordle.com. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
And luckily, we'll release this podcast later, so we don't have to worry about spoilers.
Play Wordle.
Yes, and you'll notice it gives you the instructions on the page once you go to it. Tori is looking into the Zoom as confused as a person could look.
It's loading.
It's loading? What year do we live in? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Did you go to the app? It's not an app, Tori.
Is it on the New York Times?
Yes.
It's loading. Too many people are playing. It's gonna crash.
Okay, here's my next question for you folks. Have you ever had the Wordle page load for you? Or is this a Tori problem? That'll be one of those yes, no, those option ones.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I'm clicking on it. Can't play. Sucks. That sucks.
I will continue this at our hangout later.
Okay, we'll play tonight. Okay. Here's the thing. Last thing.
About Wordle?
Yes.
Oh my.
Wordle scores are like when you have a dream and you want to tell people, hey guys, this is what I dreamed about. And no one gives 2 fucks. That's your Wordle score.
No, Tori. No, it's not. That would be like if we're all having the same dream every night and we're like, hey, did you get to that part? And you're like, oh my God, I did get to that part. Wordle is a shared experience. So people can be like, oh, I guess these words. And you're like, oh, I guess these words in a row. And people are like, how did you get there? And it's fun to have something that you do with your friends every day. This is why at the top of this podcast, I said, I don't want to hear Tori's nonsense about Wordle. This is a shared experience. It's did you ever play those games back in the day when they were like, oh, draw something is big, and now you have to play draw something.
Yeah, draw something. Wow,
you
what
know?
a
and it was
throwback.
It's just wow, how fun to do with your friends.
Yeah. But
you
don't do it with your friends.
But you do, and then you get to brag about how smart you are to your friends.
Yeah, that's fair. I do doing that.
This morning I had to help Champ solve it, and he felt like a big dummy, you know?
Okay, I'm going to tease him relentlessly about that tonight. You
should. It will be hilarious. But I think that, here's what I think, Tori. I think you just gotta give things a chance before you poo-poo all over them.
Yeah, that's fair. But what would this week what would
petty be?
Yeah, what would
Well, you can be petty about Wordle once you've tried Wordle. I think it's just to be like all Twitter's talking about is Wordle. It's okay, well, you can talk about that too.
Okay, this is a promise that I may or may not keep. I will play Wordle, and on the next episode or in the outro of this episode, because I'll record that later, I'll give my new take on Wordle.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And then we'll see where I stand.
I can't wait to listen to this episode of the pod so I can get the update.
Okay, perfect. Keep you guessing. Okay, Dana, that is it. Do you usually plug your socials? I can't remember.
I mean, I
Like,
definitely used to. I only have Instagram really, and it's private. So I guess
yeah.
if you want to request to follow me, it's at Dana Ray Freeman. But I'm mostly just posting content about my life.
Yeah.
I'm not like your podcast friends, you know. I'm just like a gal.
You're just a gal.
I'm
But
just a gal on to roast Tori about not trying new things.
yeah.
But yeah, if you want to follow me, I'll briefly look at your Instagram and consider it. So thank you.
Okay. Next time you're on, we can talk about, who you have as friends on, like, whether you choose to accept or decline friend invites.
I just went through all my Snapchat friends yesterday and deleted 3/4 of them.
God, that like, there is no better feeling.
Truly.
Oh my gosh. I keep my numbers so low, like in the
Hmm.
200s.
On Snapchat?
No, on everything. Snapchat, I have like four
Wow.
people. I have like
I have
four
like
people.
8 people on Snapchat.
Like,
Also, now we're old because we're still using Snapchat. Darn.
okay, we have to end it now. We have to end this. Thanks for coming on, Dana.
Happy to. Anytime. Invite me back.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much to Dana for coming on today's episode. I wanted to give you a Wordle update. I ended up doing my first one with my friends on Monday. And of course, it was like the hardest one ever, but it was like fun because, again, if you're a longtime listener, you know that I love like puzzles, and I've played like online Survivor, and this felt very like it would be on Survivor, like in a challenge, kind of my nerdy side, but you know how it is. So I've been playing Wordle every day since. I have been sharing my scores with this singular friend group, and you won't catch me posting my scores on socials because I still think that's obnoxious, like hella obnoxious. But I will admit the game is really fun, and I might do old ones / like do the Taylor Swift one. Anyways, thanks again for listening. Thank you so much to Nate for editing today's episode. I hope you are safe and healthy out there. As always, I'm your host, Tori, and I'm ready to be petty. See you soon. Bye.